Hey, Tony here. Today I'm going to go over all of the titles that I watched during the month of August, so stick around. So today I wanted to take time to go over all of the titles that I watched during the month of August. I was able to watch at least one movie every single day. I was able to get out to the theater a couple of times, and so I thought I would go ahead and share what I watched throughout the month and let you know what I thought about the particular film and what I rated it on Letterboxd. So I will be using my Letterboxd account. I do have it linked down below if you'd like to follow along with me. So I am going to go in order by day. So the first day I watched Donnie Brasco. This right here had been one that I had been wanting to check out for a while. As you can tell, it is based on a true story. It's got Al Pacino and Johnny Depp in it. I liked it. I rated it 2.5 stars and a heart out of 5, which is not terrible. But I did enjoy the film. I thought they had some really solid performances, and it would be one that I would definitely want you to check out. It was a little bit slower paced, but a really good mob type film with like an undercover type situation, and I really did enjoy it. Okay, next up was a first time watch for me, and that was For Small Soldiers. I had never seen this one before, and I wanted to check it out after I had opened up the Steelbook. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 2.5 stars and a heart. I thought that it was a very good story for like a younger audience and even for older audiences like myself. I did think that the animation was done very well and the story was very entertaining. A little bit darker than what you would expect for what you would think would be a children's film, but I really did enjoy that one. Next up, I watched Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. This right here was another first time watch for me. I'm not the biggest Jim Carrey fan. For what it was, I gave it 2 stars out of 5. I wasn't a big fan of it. I did not give it a heart. Probably won't be visiting that one very often. Okay, next up, I watched Hell of a Summer, the Blu-ray release. I really had a lot of fun with this one. I thought it was a really fun slasher type film. I gave it 2.5 stars and a heart. It had a really good slasher feel about it. The ending wasn't the best, but overall, as far as the film was concerned, I still enjoyed it. Okay, next up, I watched Fight or Flight with Josh Hartnett. I gave it 2.5 stars and a heart. It was a fun movie, and there's a lot of fight sequences that I really enjoyed, and some humor, and I thought it was a great performance. A great little action flick that was pretty surprising to me. I wasn't really aware of this film up until this physical media release, and so I'm glad I was able to check it out. Okay, next up, I watched in the theater. I went and saw The Naked Gun, which I really enjoyed. I thought Liam Neeson did a great job, and Pamela Anderson. I thought there's a lot of funny moments throughout the film. I gave it 2.5 stars and a heart, and I'm definitely looking forward to owning that one on physical media. Now, as far as it being compared to the original Naked Gun film, I still really enjoy the original, but I thought this right here was a really nice continuation of that franchise. After that, I went and watched Together. This right here is another new film that I saw in the theater, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 2.5 stars and a heart. I thought the performances were really good. It's got a lot of good body horror to it, some great special effects, and some practical effects, and I'm definitely looking forward to owning that one in the collection. Okay, next up, I watched Werewolves on 4K. I was really hoping that this right here would have been better than what it was. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't anything great. I gave it 2 stars, no heart. I won't be visiting that one too often. Next up, I watched Freaky Friday, the original. It had been a long time since I saw this. I wanted to check it out before seeing the newer films, and I gave it 2 stars and a heart. Actually, I gave it 2.5 stars and a heart. I still liked it. It is dated, definitely dated, but still very nostalgic for me. After that, I watched the Freaky Friday remake. Really enjoyed this one. This was a first time watch for me. I gave it 2 stars and a heart. I thought it had some great moments. It really felt like a 90s type film, and I wanted to see this one before I went to the theater and saw Freakier Friday, and that's what I watched next, Freakier Friday. I actually enjoyed Freakier Friday more than Freaky Friday just because I connected more with it, I guess, it being more of this time, and I gave it 3 stars and a heart, and looking forward to adding that one to my collection. Okay, next up was another theater watch. I went and saw Weapons. I really enjoyed Weapons. I thought it was a very unique story. It kept me entertained. It kept me wondering how it was going to end. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. I'm looking forward to adding that one to the collection. But if you get the opportunity to see Weapons in the theater, I would highly recommend you check it out. It's got a really good story. Next up, I watched Freaky Tales. Really enjoyed this one. This right here had several tales woven together. It had a great score, great characters. I gave it 3 stars and a heart, and just really enjoyed all of it. Every bit of it was really good. I would highly recommend you check it out. Next up, I watched Nobody. This right here was a second time watch. I wanted to revisit this one before going to the theater to see Nobody 2. But as far as Nobody, I gave it 3 stars and a heart. Really good action flick, something that's different. You have a family man that is some kind of, I don't know if you would call him an agent. But anyways, he is he fights bad guys, and I really enjoyed it. Nobody 2, I also went to the theater and saw that afterwards. I gave it also 3 stars and a heart. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one. I thought the first one was more unique. So the second one is always really hard to follow up. But it had great action scenes. To me, I think there was more action in Nobody 2 than there was in the first one. I did like the story, and I like the involvement of the family. So I really enjoyed it also, and looking forward to adding that one to the collection. Okay, next up, I watched The Big Heat, the Criterion release. I had recently picked this one up. I had never seen it before. Wanted to check it out, and I really enjoyed it. And very happy that I have that one in the collection. I gave it 3.5 stars and a heart. And looking forward to checking that one out again later on. Okay, next up was another first-time watch. I watched Winchester 73 with James Stewart. Another great story, a great Western. I gave it 3.5 stars and a heart. I really liked the characters in this one. And the story, the way the story developed was great. If you like Westerns, this is definitely one that you're going to want to check out. After that, I watched The Rule of Jenny Penn, and I did not care for this one. I don't know what it was about the film. I was really hoping that it would be better than what it was. I gave it 1/2 star, no heart. I don't think I'll be revisiting it again. It did have some good characters in it, but overall I didn't really care for the story. It kind of dragged, and I could not recommend that one. Next up, I went to the theater and I saw Americana. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. I really loved this film. I thought it had some really great performances. I enjoyed the story. It was a bit different than what I was anticipating, but some great characters and just a very entertaining story that kind of kept me intrigued about what was going to happen, and I can't wait to add that one to the collection. Next up, I watched A Walk in the Woods. This right here is one that I was hoping to like more than I did. It wasn't terrible, but it was more, I don't know how I would consider this one. A buddy comedy type film. It had some good moments in it. I gave this one 2 stars and a heart. I do like Robert Redford and Nick Nolte, and I thought their performances were good together, but I was just expecting a little bit more out of it. Okay, next up, I watched Courage Under Fire, another first-time watch. Really loved this film. I think Denzel Washington was definitely the standout in this. Great military-type story with some intrigue, trying to figure out how a certain situation happened, and you kind of get the perspective from different people. I gave this one 3 stars and a heart, and very happy that I've got that one in the collection. But highly recommend you check it out. Next up, I watched City of Angels with Meg Ryan and Nicolas Cage. This right here was a love story about a doctor and an angel, which was kind of odd. It didn't really feel right. It felt kind of weird. It was a very slow-paced movie. I gave it 2 stars and a heart. It's one that I would definitely revisit, but not in a hurry to see it again. But still happy to have it in the collection. Next up, I watched The Taking of Deborah Logan. I've been wanting to see this one for a long time. I do love these types of films, found footage type films. But this one wasn't great. This one could have been a lot better as far as the cast that they had. The story kind of failed a little bit toward the end. I was really hoping it would have went in a different direction. I gave it 1 star, no heart. Next up is a film that I really enjoyed, and that is Amélie. I don't know how you pronounce the name, but I really love this one. It was in French. I had to read subtitles, which was distracting because of your focus having to be on the subtitles. I was really hoping I could have really watched the film more than read the film, but I did love this one. It's very quirky, a quirky love story. I gave it 3 stars and a heart, 100% recommendation. Next up is one that I've been wanting to watch for a very long time, and that is Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Unfortunately, I did not like this one as much as I thought I would. I do like a espionage spy type film, but this one was just really boring. I gave it 1 star, no heart. It's definitely one that I need to check out again. I don't know if it was because I was distracted or what kind of mood I was in, but I just could not get into that story. Okay, next up, I watched Midnight Cowboy. This right here was a second time watch. I had watched this several years ago and wanted to revisit it since I got this box set. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. I really liked the story as far as a boy moving. Well, I say I like the story. The story is different. It is about this cowboy that moves from Texas to New York City to make money a certain way. To me, I thought by reading the film synopsis that it would have been more, because it did get an X rating, which kind of wanted to take me out of watching it. But the film did not seem overly sexualized. I don't even know why it would have got an X rating. There weren't really, I've seen more in recent times that were more adult themed than what this one was, but for some reason I guess this during that period of time was very risque and it got an X rating. But overall I thought it was a good story. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. Definitely something that I will keep in my collection. And then I also watched the documentary that came with it, Desperate Souls, Dark City, and the Legend of Midnight Cowboy. I gave it 1 star, no heart. It was a documentary based off of this film, which was a good companion piece to the film, but nothing that I would revisit anytime soon. Okay, next up I watched Death of a Unicorn. I gave this one 2.5 stars and a heart. I do think that this could have been a better film. It had some good potential. It had some good kills. But overall, the story was kind of lacking. Nothing really happened. One thing happened, and that's pretty much the whole film. It's just one particular thing that was happening, and it just didn't end well for me. And so I gave it 2.5 stars and a heart. Next up, I watched The Legend of Ochi, or Oki. I think it's Ochi. This right here was a different type of film. I gave this one 2.5 stars and a heart. It was a creature type film, based off of what you can tell there on the cover, that has a well, it says the legend, so it has a legend around that area that they kill and hunt people and do things. So it was interesting to see how they did this story. I thought it was beautifully shot. I enjoyed the cinematography for it. The story was a little bit lacking. It was a very slow-paced movie, but a very beautiful movie to watch. and I gave it 2.5 stars and a heart. And then next up, I went to the theater. I saw Caught Stealing. Really enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. Great characters, a great storyline, very entertaining, and I would highly recommend you check it out. I'm looking forward to adding that one to the collection when it's released. Then I also went to the theater and saw Relay. Relay was another great story. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. It was a, I don't know, it was a very interesting, different type of story. It's really hard to explain. There's other channels that would probably explain it a lot better than I can. But it was a real good story, great characters. The last 20 minutes of it was a little bit disappointing in a way, but I still enjoyed the film overall, and I will definitely add that one to the collection. And then next up, I watched The Phoenician Scheme, and this right here was so boring. I don't know, I had really high hopes for it. It's a Wes Anderson film. The trailer made it look better than what it was. I don't know, I just didn't care for it. I gave it 1 star, no heart. And then the last film that I watched was from a recommendation. I watched Goat. This right here was a good story. I thought they did a good job with this one. It's about young guys going to college and joining a fraternity and all the things that happen to be able to join this fraternity. The hazing and all the different things that were occurring and how bad it was. I really enjoyed it, and I gave that one 2 stars and a heart. And very, very happy that I have this one in the collection. So those are all of the titles that I watched during the month of August. Please leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about the titles that I watched, and also let me know some of the titles that you were able to watch. And give me some recommendations of films that you think I should check out during the month of September. But thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and we will see you next time.